I'm an asshole for cheating on my really crappy boyfriend. My boyfriend and I have been together for a very long time, and he's always been a jerk to me, telling me if I ever leave him, I'll never find someone better. And then I'll never find someone else. That I'm ugly and no one will love me except for him, and constantly telling me that I'm such a shitty girlfriend. I hate this relationship, but I'm scared to leave because I'm scared of him. And I think what he's telling me is true. I met this guy at college, and he was super nice to me. It was nothing flirty or romantic at first, but it did start to get that way. One day, the guy told me that I was pretty and that he likes me. I told him I like him too, but I'm in a relationship. I told him how my relationship was and I explained everything to him. And he was super understanding. We did flirt and we did kiss. I felt bad because I knew this was cheating, but my boyfriend was an a-hole and super mean to me. So I felt like it was payback. My boyfriend went through my phone like he does monthly and found out. He flipped out and screamed at me and threw things at the wall. He told me that I'm worthless and I need to end things with that guy now. I went to tell the guy and the guy said he can help me get out of that relationship. I obviously feel bad for cheating, but I'm gonna continue to see this guy. So am I that. I'm an asshole for rehoming my dog. I got my dog 3 months ago and I loved him. He was amazing. I was also 9 months pregnant and was super excited to have a baby and a new dog. After my baby was born, my dog would constantly growl at my kid and try to bite him. This was so out of the blue for me as the dog has been a sweetheart before now. I was super scared it would hurt my kid, so I just tried to keep them separated as I thought maybe it was just because the kid was new. I gave my dog lots of attention as well because I also thought maybe he was jealous. This did not work as he still tried to go out of his way to get to my kid. One day I went to go out to go get the mail, and when I came back, my dog was looking like he was about to attack my kid who was in the crib. I got there just in time as my dog leaped forward. This was my final straw. I put the dog in my car and drove him to a no-kill shelter and just gave him up. I let them know that he was not good with kids as well. I felt so bad. I was also in a Facebook group for people with dogs and I vented a little to get some reassurance that I did the right thing. So many people call me cruel for doing it. I obviously really miss my dog, but my son's safety is more important. I've been feeling really down about it, so I'm just wondering, am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for not being friends with someone because of their political beliefs? I was friends with this girl, and let's call her Sarah, for 12 years. We've been through so much together. She was like my best friend. Recently, she's been getting more and more right. She believes that this pandemic is just a government scheme and that it's all fake. She constantly brings up politics anytime she can and tries to persuade me to her side. I constantly tell her I do not believe that and I am sticking with the facts. Of course, she gets mad at that, and she likes to go to Facebook for all of her facts. I cannot stand her and her beliefs as they are literally all that we talk about now. We got into it recently and we were debating, and she constantly would tear down my looks or something whenever I would just show her a statistic or kind of prove that I'm right. I swear she does not even know what she's saying. She says that I'm just a dumb liberal who doesn't even know what the real world is like, and that I need to face reality. I had enough of her acts and I told her I cannot talk to her anymore until she changes or just shuts up. She's been posting on Facebook about how one of her friends is fake and a bitch, and we all know that she's talking about me. I do miss her and I feel bad about how things ended, so I'm an asshole for coming out to my parents. My parents are super religious and do not support the LGBTQ plus community. I have been gay since I can even remember, and I've always wanted to tell them. I have joked about it with them before and they laugh and say, "Thank God you're not though." And that's obviously not reassuring at all. One day I got up the courage and just told them. I was so nervous and was about to cry. My mom and dad lost it and said there's no way that they could have a gay child. They said it's not in their genes and that I will be in hell. I told them that's not true and that it's just who I am and that I really hope that they'd be okay with it. They said that they're not, and my mom was crying. My dad was so mad that I made my mom upset that he told me to leave right now. So I did, and I stayed at a friend's house for a couple of days. When they called me 3 days later, they said I can only come back if I promise to be straight, and that I cannot act on any of my homosexual desires. I said yes because I obviously just needed a place to stay, but my life is so much worse. My mom and dad hate me and are making me go to church every single day to talk with my priest. I regret even telling them, so am I the asshole? I'm an asshole for not wanting to be BFFs with my friend anymore because of how she treats me because I'm bi. I've been friends with my best friend for about 8 years, and let's just call her Cece. Me and Cece have always been super close. Our friendship has always been really toxic. We'd always fight over stupid things. But after a year or two, we became really good friends and got along great. But now that we're in our teens, things have started to change. I'm bi and I'm very proud of it, and when I came out as bi, she had no problem with it. Or so I thought. Later on, she tells how she agrees with me being bi, but everyone else says that she feels grossed out about it. I haven't been in very long relationships, but every relationship that she gets into, then a week into it, she stops talking to me. And if she does, she'd tell me that she would choose them over me. I just do not know what to do. In one case, one of her boyfriends found out that I was bi, and we were sort of chill before it happened, but now his whole demeanor changed. He makes rude comments about me in front of all our friends, and she stuck up for him. And then when she started losing feelings for him, then she would stick up for me. I just do not know what to do, and she has not been talking to me. Every time I try to talk to her, she makes me feel stupid for wanting to talk to her. She also made me cut off contact with all my friends a couple years back, and now I'm getting back in contact with them. She found out and she got really mad at me. I don't know what to do. I'm an asshole for telling my boyfriend's sister to stop calling my baby her baby. My boyfriend and I just had our daughter a month ago, and he hasn't talked to his sister in 13 years due to his mom wanting to protect him from her. Until recently when their mother passed away.
When I was 6 months pregnant, his mother passed unexpectedly, and he was having a really hard time getting through it. So when I was 7 months pregnant, his sister reached out to him, and he wanted to give her another chance, because it's only him, his brother, and his dad now. I haven't had a problem with his family except for her. It bothers me when I was in the hospital less than 24 hours after having my daughter, and she came to see her and started saying it's her baby. And our baby to my boyfriend. She saves every photo that I put on Facebook. She even made her own baby album of my daughter and wants to get her name tattooed on her, which I asked her politely not to do. She told my boyfriend off after I said not to, and said I will hold off until she realizes it's just an aunt thing. He hasn't even given me a chance. My boyfriend doesn't see anything wrong with it. I'm highly frustrated and I'm severely uncomfortable around her. So am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for not making a vegan option for my stepmother? So my husband and I were planning on having family over for Thanksgiving, and we really wanted to have a nice big turkey, because we both grew up really poor and we never had a really good Thanksgiving dinner. We of course made sides like stuffing and mashed potatoes, as like no Thanksgiving dinner is really complete without, or at least we thought so. When the night of the dinner came around, my husband's parents came in. They were very impressed by the spread of the food we made throughout the day. We were also expecting my father to show up with his new, and let's just say problematic wife. She always makes stuff about her, and recently became a vegan. My husband and I, however, did not know that she was vegan, and my father did not tell us. She and my father finally made it about 20 minutes late, and the food was even starting to get cold. So we rushed them to the seats, and so everyone could enjoy the meal. When we're sitting, I instantly realized that my stepmother wasn't even putting anything on her plate and looked extremely angry. I asked her what the issue was, and she said very aggressively, I don't eat anything from animals anymore, and this is extremely insulting. This started a whole fight, and they stormed off. I'm an asshole for telling my boyfriend I want nothing to do with his family. I met my boyfriend almost 5 years ago, and we got together straight away. However, he did not meet my son right away, as he isn't his dad. However, when they did meet, he took on the stepfather role right away, and we became very serious. His family had never really had a problem with me. His mother, however, hated me since the start, even asking my partner not to bring me around. Eventually, though, it seemed like she got over it and asked us to move in, and we did. However, that did not last long before she started calling me names and judging my parenting. My partner was so angry, he sat down, and he told her it was uncalled for, and we moved out. His siblings now do the family days and birthday parties, but we never get invited. Although my son isn't his, I thought we would have been welcomed into the family by now. Christmas, every year my son gets cheap plastic cars, and he is very grateful. I find this offensive because 1, he doesn't even play with cars, and 2, he has to watch the real grandkids and nieces and nephews get like 8 to 10 expensive gifts that are all wrapped. I don't care if he goes to see them, I just don't want to be associated with them anymore. So am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for getting mad at my boyfriend because of his girl best friend? My boyfriend, and we'll call him Tyler, has a girl best friend, and we'll call her Lexi. They are extremely close. At school, they'd always hug and sometimes even kiss each other on the cheek or forehead. I got mad and even a little sad that my boyfriend would betray me like that. So I confronted him about it and asked him not to be friends with her anymore. My boyfriend told Lexi, and she texted me calling me an asshole. They then tried to tear in the tables, saying that I cheated with my boy best friend, when my boyfriend made me cut off almost complete contact with, let's call him Alex. My boyfriend broke up with me because Lexi told him I was cheating with Alex and that I did the dirty with him. So he broke up with me, and 2 of my girl best friends, we'll call them Chloe and Sally, which Chloe is best friend to Tyler. So they told him that none of that was true and got back together. But when we were broken up for that day, Lexi and Tyler got together, and as soon as he wanted to get back with me, he broke up with her. I broke it off as soon as I found that out. So am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for hooking up with a married man? I went to the bar after a long, rough day, and there was an older man sitting next to me. I think he could tell I was having a rough day, and he bought me a drink. And we started talking, and he was telling me about how his job is terrible, and his relationship with his wife is not good either. I didn't think this would be anything other than just a conversation at the bar. The next thing I know, he grabs my hand and starts to flirt with me, and I go along with it because why not? We talk and flirt for hours, and we end up going back to his place. His house is gigantic, and I can tell that he's loaded. His wife wasn't home, and we hooked up. After we did the dirty, he tells me he wants to do this again sometime, and I agree. It was fun doing with someone more experienced, if you know what I mean. I accidentally left my underwear there, and the next day, I'm at a grocery store, and I hear a woman on the phone, and she seems upset, and she's talking about how her husband is cheating on her, and she found a woman's underwear. I felt bad because I think she was talking about me. We also live in a small town. He called me up again to hook up, and I'm torn on whether I should go or not. Am I the asshole?